All right, guys, how's it going? Today, so Linda Builder here. Now, I am a very late boomer when it comes to getting into relationships, and I think that really gets to my mind where, you know, if you're a guy or wants to be a strong guy, you think ahead. What makes you to think a lot ahead to find that safety net or build that safety net or build or what is the purpose or reality of getting certain things. Not all of us get to that stage. Don't get me wrong. All right? There's always a say about this quote. Girls get, girls get mature a lot earlier than men, right? And which is, that's what the say is about. But when it comes to consumerism, it's a complete different ball game. And regardless if you're married or in a relationship, and it's always tend to be on the partner, all right? Now, this could be LGBT, this could be interracial relationship, this could be, a normal relationship. But, I get to see a very, very strong ones. I always laugh at my former landlord he's dated, a Chinese girl, and his background, he's Australian, and but he's getting pussy whipped. Like, he's so submissive. And what I realized when the Western guy who brought up in the Western world and dated a girl from an Eastern culture or Eastern mentality culture, um, opposite sex, they tend to be a lot more submissive. And this is what I'm talking about finding a girl from a Western world, Eastern background, and to do anything, they're just pretty much just silent, and the woman play the dominant role. In a Western world, the woman plays the dominant. From my experience, what I experience and what I see my friends is that the women's are a lot more dominant in the world, the spectrum. All right. Um, and now, a lot of guys are actually scared of wives and their girlfriends in the Western world. However, if you in the Eastern world, it's a different ball game. Eastern girl will transition to a very powerful state. Eastern girl will be more submissive, where the guys lead and run, regardless what is, regardless if this that's sexist or not. But that's what I'm seeing out of this. But the moment when a Western guy dated a Eastern girl in a Western world, the Western guy tend to be a lot more submissive. Yeah, tend to be very opposite. Where the Eastern, it's a lot more playing the mature role. Maybe the maturity in the Eastern world, I think it's a lot more earlier than the Western world for some reason. I guess in the Western world we'll focus more on the freedom and things like that. And over there it's more authoritarian, or there's a hierarchy, social hierarchy, where the woman being placed on very low on the ladder. Now this is where the feminists, and this is where uh, the equality kicks in. And a lot of guys, in Australia, it's just regardless. Many, even if my coworkers are from Nepalese, and he's been telling me like, oh, my wife, when we in Australia, boom, I have to listen to her. It's all about 50-50. But when if back in Nepal, it'll be a different ball game. Even though they both grew up in Eastern, but they play in a very strong game, and you have to please them. So, anywho, it's already 4 minutes into this, and I just like to talk about this topic, consumerism. When I watch MGTOW videos or red pill videos stating that what's the effect when you do not, uh, for example, marriage or pop a kid, or not getting into a relationship with the opposite sex? What is the negative impact in the society, right? Even if you're same sex, okay. I don't know about same sex, but I just focus on the heterosexual part of it now. Now, the first thing that you close down the most is pretty much is the wedding receptions and things like that, and family stores like baby stores, and these are the stuff that the first will the business will hugely decline. A lot more job sacks and things like that. And also, one thing that didn't caught my attention was a lot of female women's clothing stores or trendy stores. Um, they're not as if you're not in a relationship or not in a marriage, these stores are not tend to be as you know the the business is not as what he's supposed to think it is, because when you're in a relationship or a marriage, it's depending on the opposite sex demand on or wanting to have or compete with other women to have this certain goods and this and that I'm living this sort of, I don't know, their life, or that's what they're wanting. And when I think about it, it actually makes true. And I speak to many of the older folks who's in their 40s and 50s. I'm 30, and in their marriage, and they always listen by the word of their missus, and by means the purpose, what they feel their needs is completely different to a man's need. Completely different. I didn't know how different it was until recently. I know about it. I never discuss about this sort of topic because I'm very, very late to relationship. I just in the past, I'm a nice guy. I never get on a relationship until last year, uh, December, and if this last year December, if this December, if I can last a relationship 1 year, great, that will be 1 year. But I never gone a relationship before, and these are stuff that I picked up a lot, and I still find it new, and when I think about it, and I ask myself, like, you know, a man wants to have a different purpose or reality in the family structure, or no say in the girlfriend or the missus or the wife demands something different. It can be luxurious or something that is phony stuff. And when you think about that, is we slam the door. Why would we slam the door early in the morning? Anywho, that's my landlord. Okay. You have that different certain stuff that you wanted to grab, and that's fueled the consumerism. When you're in a relationship, you buy all these eyes, all this bling, and all these clothes, all these brands for the girls. To go on their own, when they make that much money, they are not gonna spend them on themselves. Trust me. Even if they do, maybe one or two items, but not as in a relationship. We drop the money like it's nowhere. Even if I have to sign up a credit card or personal line to fulfill that need, we'll do it. So you have that, and that's how the consumerism works. When a society stop dating or largely divorced or breaking up or celibates, then you don't need to feel that much money on you, right? Or or spend it very loosely or very casual. And I guess I believe I can't say, I say the large amount of what I'm speaking to many blokes, I think the instant gratification from the female nature side on shopping, on consumerism, is a lot higher than men. If you look in the shopping center, if you look at men's clothes compared to women's clothes, even the store that has 50-50, there's tend to be a lot more women's clothes, and it's the same thing with, when I was in China as well. There's heaps, man. But like, I haven't been to step across to go to like other third world countries, but like, I get to see a lot of them. When I was in Peru, I never made a. When I was in Peru and Thailand, I never paid close attention to this area. But it kind of makes sense with Thailand. It's more women clothes where there's a lot more going on. Ladies' night out, they have to dress to impress. But I think the consumerism, what the MGTOW community and what is actually based on facts of how many stores are closing down. And not only just that, but also family stores are closing down. Family stores makes more sense And babies that makes baby stores that make more sense because if they're not in a relation, not having a baby or not having inside a family, these are the stores that will close down. It makes more sense. But however, if you have this sort of set to go through, um, consumerism will be the death, and this is a huge backflip. This will be, especially comes to furniture stores. Furniture stores will get backflipped. You know, this is where I ask myself, like, if I get married, or let's just say, if me and my missus we just bought a house tomorrow, or perhaps if me and my missus uh, bought a house or rent a whole house, and we need furnitures or appliances or things like that, you know, for me as an individual, and I've been hearing a lot of guys, we'll use the money of what we have. We wouldn't go overboard or use instant gratification or impulse buying just because it's cheap or this and that. What we will do is I'll picture what's the most important stuff that I need to get. And then I ask myself, okay, the fridge and you got the microwave, you got the bed, and bed's all right, or washing machine. These are stuff the most important one in the house, right? And or a table, this and that. You know, I learned that if I don't have that much cash or money, then I think about, do I need interest or any loans, right? But I wouldn't think that way because I'll think of, what, a house, that's a big house. That's like a three-bedroom, and, there's a lot going on. You got a bathroom, you got a garage, there's a lot of stuff to list about. But I tend to realize that for ladies, when they think about the house, I think they think a lot more of the brand new side, the fantasy, the dream they wanted, and leather sofas, this and that. Even though the money is not within our scope, they tend to go overboard. Same as renovations as well. And when I worked for my father doing renovation business and the building industry, I tend to see the guys use the practical side, where the ladies they think about every single. I'm not being generalized, but this is based on my experiences. That they tend to think outside the scope, and sometimes it doesn't make sense. It's not functional, but that's how they think. But every day they think differently, and it's not stable. And me and my father, our job is always being changed around. Our plans being changed around. Uh, you know, um, they work very differently, and when you work differently, that's more money, and or unnecessary things that they need, but they still get it, whether it's coming from image or things like that. But let's say get back to moving house. If I move a house tomorrow, I'll try my best to go to Gumtrees and eBay and find out the secondhand goods, or go to Bricks and Bracks, charity shops and find something, just just to get what we need, and then once we have all we need and everything, I think the only one that need probably a washing machine or a fridge. It's either one or the other. Probably fridge is more important. I guess. Or I don't mind secondhand as well, but I'm more than happy to go on the secondhand route. And once we build out the wealth and everything, and once we have a clear mind what we wanted in the house, we slowly add one item, one, you know, one by one, replacing one by one, slowly, not straight away. But I think women tend to think straight away. But when you think straight away, you don't think right, right? Your mind is all over the place. You have this instant gratification, this shopping addiction kicks in straight away. You want this, you want that, and go to whole IKEA, buy this whole lot, and it turns out you're not using all that stuff. And same with the clothing. I did not know about girls. They cannot wear the same clothes twice or once. They just throw that clothes away. That's consumerism, man. Jesus, that's pretty crazy, man. Me as fellas, I just buy $5 shirts and I just wear them every single week. I wear them until they tear or they don't look nice, and I just get another one. I use it. I use it as a purpose. So yeah, that's about it. That's the video. Um, the consumerism part. This is something that I think in the Western world, many who says, "Oh man, everyone's buying made in China, so nobody's buying our local goods or Australian goods or American goods." I don't think it's the case scenario. I think people has the money to blow. It's just the fact that what appeals to them. I guess most people nowadays is not for quality, now it's quantity. How many phones do you change? Every 2 years or 1 year you change one phone, right? And how often you change your cars? So yeah, nobody's thought about quality anymore now. But I think more of those who are thoughtful thinkers or safety net, they think about the long term. They think about buying quality stuff. For example, buy a better car battery because it lasts 5 years. If you buy a low end battery only, it doesn't start in a cold start, or it only lasts for 2 3 years. We tend to buy the safety net, spend extra money if you have the money. If you do not have the money, then it is what it is in life. We think a lot more, but I think girls, I don't think they do think that logical way. Maybe I'm being sexist on this video, to be honest.